The food that we eat, we have to consider it as the divine itself. Don't throw food. Never even allow your children to throw food, because it is not a done thing. You see, there was a joker over there. He came from some European Estonia or something. And he says, my mother used to tell me every time to finish what is there on the plate. If you don't finish, the people in Africa will go hungry. He is a stand-up comedian. So he says, I learned this as a child in Estonia or wherever he came from. And I ate everything. Now this is a grown-up man giving a stand-up comedy. And then he says, I finished my plate, what is there on my plate. And then many years later I thought, if I finish this plate, then people in Africa will get sufficient food. How does that work? My stomach is growing. I am becoming fat by eating this food. How is it getting to Africa? I don't understand. This was a joke that he created. Well, this joke is on him. You don't realize that it is not that you are feeding yourself. Okay? You are feeding those trillions of creatures inside of you. They are the part of this ecosystem. You may wonder, how is the food going to go to Africa? Well, the story just now, didn't I tell you what the story is? 1 grain of food Krishna consumes and the whole world is satiated. Throwing food or putting it in the fridge or making it stale and worthless is not a done thing. Okay? It is not good. Again, you should have a wholesome meal. God has given you everything, isn't it? He is there in everything. I want you to think about this. We are doing chapter 9, Bhagavad Gita, verse 16. I am the Vedic ritual. I am the sacrifice. I am the offering to the departed. I am the herbage and the food grains. I am the sacred mantra. I am the clarified butter. I am the sacred fire. I am verily the act of offering oblations unto the fire. What happens is, in India, there is a way of behaving. People have respect for everything. So suppose you take a book. We respect books. So during the time of Dashera, we keep the books and every other object in front of us which we use. We call it Ayudh Puja, if you know. Okay? These are implements. These are action items which we use in our life. Sometimes you are a writer and an author. You keep your books, your pens, your paper. Now that pen and paper is gone, so people will keep their computers, their tablets, they will keep their phones, recording machines, you name it, those kind of things. Some people will keep books also. They are allowed. Some people are working with implements, like the farmers. They have plow. They have plow, they have shears, they have, different kinds of farming equipment. Tractors. Various other implements they have. People have cars also. They have vehicles. Like that we have across the board, anybody who is using something in this world, we revere that object and we keep it very safely over there. And then we pray to the object. We put an agarbatti, flowers and stuff like that. And we pray. To animals also we pray. During the course of the year, the animals are also a part of our ritualistic ceremonies. So we pray to them as well. Why do we do that? We see the Lord in them. So we don't kick those items. I'm sure you have seen, you don't kick books. You don't throw them away. You're not supposed to just chuck them away. You're not supposed to misuse your stuff. They are not football. I believe football in America is not football, it is something else. So let me not get into it. But in India, the football is you kick a ball with your foot and there are 2 goal posts. So see, these instruments, these stuff, all are kitchen equipments. There are lots of kitchen utensils and equipments which we use in the kitchen also. We pray to them because they are helping us in our day-to-day activity. When we do that, we revere the God within that object. And this is how we have to be. You have seen musicians also pray to their instruments. You will find that sculptors or say painters, they will keep their easels and chisel and all those things and they will pray. We have specific gods for that. And these gods are related to that field. They are in charge of that domain. Everything comes from one only. And that is why these verses from now onwards, Shri Krishna is giving us a direct understanding that this is who I am. I am the Vedic ritual. You see, a Vedic ritual is a ritual where we do certain kinds of offerings or sacrifices, right? These sacrifices are done in the form of a picture or a pit. We draw a pit or various other things. Like we may praise a tree also. You have seen. We put flowers on a tree. Not just necessarily what we say as a tulsi. We do it to literally all the trees. They are human beings who have become trees and these plants, by the way. You may not know this. Just imagine if you have a relative and that relative dies. Are you going to be upset and angry and hurt and all that? Yes. Why don't you realize that that tree which is dying is also a relative of yours? Has it ever occurred to you that that tree which is there in front of you, which you are cutting down, or it's not being watered, no food is given to the tree, you don't even care for it, you don't even touch it, it's your own relative, Krishna himself. There's a very beautiful story where Radha is asked this question, where do you see Krishna? So there is a very beautiful tree in front, a jamun tree. And she says, that is Krishna. Every leaf, every branch, every jamun on top of it is Krishna himself. She gives this darshan of the Swarup of Shri Krishna to Shri Krishna's mother, Yashoda. There's a very beautiful story where she gives the darshan of Shri Krishna in the form of jamuns, the blue color things which stain our mouth, that in every fruit. And this is a very peculiar thing, because we think that, oh, it's just a jamun, it's just a fruit. You see, when we spoil the fruits and we throw them away, imagine if that was Krishna, would you throw him away? Huh? Then are you not supposed to care for it? If you allow it to lie on the table for 5 days, 6 days, just lying over there, nobody is touching it, nobody is eating it, is it okay? Somebody is at the door. So, this is something which we have to realize, that everything is Sri Krishna. Here he is giving us the idea, I am the Vedic ritual. So in the Vedic ritual you require certain things. What are the things that you require? Think. You require flowers. You require different, water also for pouring, ghee. So many things, like you can imagine. Twigs. Twigs are required. All that is Sri Krishna himself. I am the entire ritual. From the beginning to the end, I am that. I am the sacrifice. Whatever you are going to do, that sacrifice is also me. So if somebody does the puja, okay, I will do the puja. Are you disrespecting Krishna? Yes or no? It is not you are doing a favor to someone, you are doing favor to yourself. When you do a puja, you have to be very good at it. About few months ago, I had gone to a place. Okay. And in this place, there was this young man. He used to work very late in the night, till very late in the night. So he will get up slightly later in the morning. But he will not mix around with anybody. He will take his bath, do his morning ablutions, and sit for puja. And when he was sitting for puja, he will complete the puja, systematically heads down, saying those mantras and everything. And then he had 5 different kinds of stuff in front of him. He will put it as a sacrifice to everybody. Like to the birds, he will remove some things. To the dogs, he will keep some food. To the cows, he keeps food. The last one is for the ants. Some sugar and stuff like that for the ants. And he goes everywhere and offers it to all these creatures. This is very great devotion. And that is supposed to be admired. Because Sri Krishna is in everything. The sacrifice which you do even to ants is also a sacrifice. There are certain countries in the world where they shoot crows. If you see a crow in that country, it is shot dead. The bird should not be fed, because they cause a lot of problem in the city. So never feed the birds is what is written over there. Don't feed the dogs. Don't feed any animals. This country, everybody is going to go to hell. Please understand. They will be made into ants and all these creatures. Don't worry. You think, and by the way, it's a blue zone country. And why do you shoot crows? Why? Because they cause clamor in their world. Financially, it is one of the richest countries in the world. But this is not a done thing. Shri Krishna is in everything. And that is why it is not right. I am the sacrifice. I am the offering to the departed. You see, sometimes we don't even bother about the departed. That people who have gone away, dead and gone. No. Offer them something. You may say, where do I offer them? Okay, just offer it to some creature outside. Maybe a cow, maybe an animal, maybe crow. It is the thought which counts. It is the way in which your inner being says that, oh, I am offering this to this dear departed. So this thing, which is called an offering to the dead, is also Sri Krishna. I am the offering to the departed. I am the herbage and food grains. Herbage, the green leaves, palak, this, that, all those are there, Whatever that is green and all, herbage. And the food grains that are there. I am the food grains as well. Don't disrespect them. When people come to this place, we offer food. There is a one thing very clear in that. Whatever is offered to you, please eat it. Do not throw anything away. So never throw anything. I have a rule in my world. If I ever come to your house, only the first time what you serve me in the thali is all that I will eat. I don't take second helpings. Many a times people don't remember this. So they will say, no, Guruji, you have to eat this, you have to eat this, you have to eat this. I am not going to eat that. What you offer in that one thali once is all I will eat once in a day. This is what I follow for last so many years. We have to respect food. People come and they throw food, especially children. Parents have not trained their children. Oh, that's okay, just leave it. Leave those grains, leave the food. Do you know Sri Krishna? There is a beautiful story where Sri Krishna goes to meet Draupadi. So when he goes to meet Draupadi, that time the food is over. They had already had their lunch. Now Draupadi had a small vessel. Now imagine these are 5 guys, okay? Right? So don't think they are small people. There's Yudhishthir, Bhim, Arjun, Nakul, Sahadev, herself, and the animals around that she has to feed. So there are animals around there, the 14 years that they were out. So all these things were there, the birds were there, the ants were there. You think all this she was not feeding? She was feeding everybody. So one day the meal is over. She had not washed the vessel. Now this was one small vessel, this much only. This vessel was called Akshay Patra. Akshay Patra is a vessel which is a magical vessel. From it, when it is covered by means of a cloth, you can draw as much food as giving it to 1,000 people or 10,000 people from that small vessel. So one day, There is no covering on that. Akshay Patra is lying over there for washing purposes, and Shri Krishna comes to meet Draupadi. Draupadi looks at him, welcomes him. So Shri Krishna says, I am very hungry. Can you give me something to eat? Now Draupadi is very upset. She has finished the meal and the vessel is kept over there for washing purpose. She is feeling extremely sorry and sad, and she says to Krishna, I am very sorry, Krishna. We just finished our meal. The Akshay Patra is lying over there. It's lying open. There will be no food coming out of it now. What am I to do? I can't let you go hungry. He says, I will never let you down. I will never let you down, Sri Krishna says to Draupadi. Then he goes near the vessel and he looks inside the vessel. Inside that there is one grain of food lying inside. That one grain he takes, puts it in his mouth, and the whole world is satiated. Do you understand the meaning of these words? He eats that one grain, and not only is Sri Krishna satiated, but the whole universe is satiated. The food that we eat, we have to consider it as the divine itself. Don't throw food. Never even allow your children to throw food, because it is not a done thing. You see, there was a joker over there. He came from some European Estonia or something. And he says, my mother used to tell me every time to finish what is there on the plate. If you don't finish, the people in Africa will go hungry. He is a stand-up comedian. So he says, I learned this as a child in Estonia or wherever he came from. And I ate everything. Now this is a grown-up man giving a stand-up comedy. And then he says, I finished my plate, what is there on my plate. And then many years later I thought, if I finish this plate, then people in Africa will get sufficient food. How does that work? My stomach is growing. I am becoming fat by eating this food. How is it getting to Africa? I don't understand. This was a joke that he created. Well, this joke is on him. You don't realize that it is not that you are feeding yourself. Okay? You are feeding those trillions of creatures inside of you. They are the part of this ecosystem. You may wonder, how is the food going to go to Africa? Well, the story just now, didn't I tell you what the story is? One grain of food Krishna consumes and the whole world is satiated. Throwing food or putting it in the fridge or making it stale and worthless is not a done thing. Okay? It is not good. Again, you should have a wholesome meal. God has given you everything, isn't it? He is there in everything. I want you to think about this. If you are eating only bitter stuff, only hot stuff, oily stuff, all these things, all these things, I want you to tell me, what kind of food is that? It is called Rajasic food. Do you know that the Vishnu Tattva is Sattvic in nature? Do you know this? And not Rajasic. Rajasic is Brahmaji. So food also has to be consumed in a specific way. Every day you open up Instagram, it is written over there. When you drink tea in the morning with sugar, when you have coffee with sugar, when you have this with sugar, you are having a lot of problems. You see, in India, we have 80 and 90-year-old who still consume 2 and 3 spoons of sugar right in the early in the morning. Go to any of the villages in India. You cannot generalize things. Shri Krishna is there in everything. We consume these items thinking that we are one with Krishna, not with anything. And that is why he says, I am the herbage and the food grains. I am the sacred mantra. Whatever mantra that you are doing, anything. I am even that mantra, any words that come out of your mouth. Okay? Think about it. You say Jesus, or some people have the habit of saying bloody shit. What? Did I hear that clearly? Saying something wrong like that? I understand. Would you apply Krishna to be in that word? Then why are you spewing dirty words? Don't. I am the clarified butter. Clarified butter means what? Ghee. Has he mentioned, okay, no, not the ghee. He's talking about some other butter made from some other thing. Not at all. Clarified butter from the cows is what he's talking about. I am the sacred fire. And I am verily the act of oblations, offering oblations into the fire. Including the action that you perform is me alone. So how you eat your food also is important. Gulping food like that is not good. Think. I want you to think very carefully. Do you eat your food in moderation, very nicely, in a proper manner? Or do you take a big burger like chomp, 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 chomp? Is that what you do? You have to savor it and eat it nicely. Everything has a reason. Shri Krishna is there in all these activities, including whatever you are eating. Would you disrespect him when you are eating? We have people, when they are eating, they are sitting with a cell phone in their hand. Like that. Or we have people who will be watching TV while eating. Don't worry. You are very soon going to see the effects of it. Because what you are doing is disrespecting. Shri Krishna is there in everything. Don't disrespect him. This is the term. So we move to the next verse now. We are doing Bhagavad Gita chapter 9 verse 17. I am the sustainer and the ruler of this universe. It is its father, mother and grandfather. The one worth knowing, the purifier, the sacred symbol Om, and the three Vedas Rik, Yajus and Sama. Yesterday somebody asked me a question and I said put Om in front. Did I say these words? The word Om is Shri Krishna himself. So you may say Om Namah Shivaya. The word Om is Krishna himself. The sacred syllable Om. I am the sustainer and the ruler of this universe. I am the one who sustains this world. Everything that happens in this world is because of me being there as a sustainer. I am the father, mother and the grandfather also. So you may think that you have a father, you have a mother. Isn't that what you think? I got my mother, I got my father. No. He is the father, he is the mother, he is also the grandfather. You think there is somebody else? Just because you came out of some person's body, does it mean that you belong to that person? Common sense will tell you. Today, we have surrogate mothers. Surrogate mothers you have heard of or no? Now, surrogate mother has an egg belonging to one woman and a sperm belonging to somebody else. So, who is the mother over there? Is the surrogate person the mother? The one who has given the egg is the mother? Who is the mother there? Or is doctor the mother? Because the doctor put that thing inside her body, no? So, doctor must be. This graying of areas is very, very clear. Does it not tell you that nobody is the mother there? People take this responsibility. I am the mother, I am the mother, I am the mother. Sorry boss, who has told you? You are just an instrument through which water has come. You see, you are just a pipe. You are just a tap. And from the tap, if the water comes, is the tap supposed to say that I am the mother of this water? Which angle do you think that the tap can say I am the mother of this water which is coming out of this tap? And then you have possession about this water that comes out of it. You understand what I am talking or no? Tomorrow, one plastic molding machine will remove one bottle from it. One bottle will come, a plastic bottle will come, and imagine the machine says, I am the mother of this bottle. I made this bottle, and tomorrow it starts possessing it. I have to depend, this thing has to depend on me. What nonsense are you talking? There is no mother, there is no father, there is nobody. The human beings are used for the purpose of procreation, so that the world goes ahead. This, the scientists have very little idea about understanding. So I don't want to get into their state of being. So Shri Krishna says, I am the father and I am the mother. And I am also the grandfather. Whoever made this mother is also me. So before the beginning also, what was there is me only. If you go backward in time, there is already me existing everywhere. The one worth knowing. I am the only one worth knowing. If somebody says, no, I love my mother, I love my father, I love my grandfather, I love... What are you talking about? Your mother or your father might have thrown you in the streets. From which angle are they mother and father? Tell me. And you may be too possessive about your own children, Oh, this is my mother, this is my daughter, this is my son. Tomorrow you are going to be possessing everything in the world around you. This is my pen, this is my chair, this is my computer, like that, this is my son, this is my daughter. So this kind of thinking is not good. Where the God, Shri Krishna, is the only father and the only mother. He is the grandfather and he is the only one worth knowing. The water coming from the tap should only know that there is only one God who is creating this water and the tap and the whole world. Would you agree with me or no? Even the clouds are made by one God only, no? Even the water which is coming from some lake or something like that is coming from his lake only, no? So is the mother the lake, or the cloud which is giving those rains, or the water tank which is upstairs which is storing the water? That is the mother? Or the tap from where the water comes is the mother? This kind of nonsensical thinking we have got used to, because everybody in this world starts thinking this way. Everybody is possessive. I gave this water. So the lake will say, I gave this water. The cloud will say, I gave this water. It is not your property, boss. It's the God who has created this whole thing. So Shri Krishna is the one who is to be known. Not all these lakes, ponds, water tanks, pipes and taps and all. That is not important. They are just via media through which everything flows. And that is the reason why it is not so important. In spiritual, people are the only people who know this secret. The rest of the common world starts believing, no, I am the mother, I am the father, I am like this, I am like that. What nonsense are you talking? So, I am the sacred, I am the one worth knowing, the purifier. The sacred syllable Om and the three Vedas. Even the Vedas is me. We have Rig Ved, Yajur Ved and Sam Ved. There is another Ved which is called Atharva Ved. But these are the three principal Vedas. He says everything in the Vedas is me only, including the words, including the parchment on which it is written, including every thought that has gone into it's me. So we have come to the end of verse 17. So we will stop over here.